Tonight, social events are a no-go. BSU telling student organizations they can't have in-person gatherings. What forced officials to say now is the time for the partying to stop.
The rush to end COVID. More people are getting shots as companies push to revise their vaccines.
Governor Holcomb naming a new Secretary of State. She says she's ready to get to work. Why the governor says she's the right one for the job.
Moving in, how one man is taking over an unused space and giving back to the community. And a pop star is planning to release new music, what fans can expect. I'm Emily Harless.
And I'm Imani Butts. Plus, up-to-minute weather and sports headlines. This is Delaware County's only live TV newscast.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
But first, in your coronavirus headlines tonight, in-person social events no longer allowed at Ball State following reports of large gatherings over the weekend.
This went into effect this afternoon following an email from the university. The mandate includes all off-campus gatherings, including ones at fraternity houses. The Office of Student Life says organizations who break these rules could no longer be recognized by the university. BSU officials urge students to get tested even without COVID-19 symptoms. Ball State offers free testing for students and faculty. For more information on how you can get tested, visit bsu.edu and select Get Tested. And today, state health officials opened up COVID vaccine eligibility to all Indiana residents 45 and older. The state says the change will increase vaccine eligibility by more than 400,000 Hoosiers. State officials say additional groups will be added as more vaccine becomes available. To schedule a vaccination, call 211 or visit ourshot.in.gov.
And as the vaccine rollout continues across Indiana, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported a new national benchmark for vaccination. Today, the CDC says at least 10% of adults in every state has been vaccinated. As of today, close to 111 million doses of the vaccine have been administered across the country. The CDC says roughly 72 million people have had at least one dose.
Vaccination rates may be rising, but a new study has found even more Americans could have already had the coronavirus. In a study published today by the medical journal JAMA, it was found that asymptomatic coronavirus infections in America may have been twice the official count. Asymptomatic refers to people who get the virus but do not show symptoms and may not be diagnosed. Many who are infected are asymptomatic. In this study, researchers tested healthy adults for coronavirus antibodies. They found that 6.6% of those tested were positive for antibodies, despite never reporting symptoms. Scientists used these findings to estimate nearly 16 million asymptomatic infections could have occurred in the U.S. as of September 30th. Research recommended more population-wide surveillance testing.
The first children have gotten Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. This comes as part of the pharmaceutical company's pediatric clinical trial. Throughout the trial, nearly 7,000 children in the U.S. and Canada will receive 2 doses of the vaccine. The children range in age from 6 months to 11 years old. And as the trial continues, some will be getting a placebo. Doses will be spaced about 28 days apart.
And today, taking office, the top priority for me is to safeguard Indiana's record of free, fair, and secure elections, ensuring that all Hoosiers know that their vote counts.
Governor Eric Holcomb announced Holly Sullivan will become Indiana's new Secretary of State. Last month, former Secretary of State Connie Lawson announced she was resigning with 2 years left in her elective term. Lawson stated the year had taken a toll on her and she was stepping down to focus on her health and family. Sullivan has represented District 78 in Indiana's House of Representatives for the last 8 years. She will be responsible for overseeing elections, voting issues, business charters, and security regulations.
Washington Prime Group, the owner of the Muncie Mall, announced last week that it is preparing for a potential bankruptcy filing.
NewsLink Indiana's Alex Almanza has been on the story for the past week and has the latest.
Thanks. Well, the future of the mall is still uncertain. This isn't the first time the mall's survival has been in question, however. The Indy Star says when Muncie Mall's anchor store JCPenney closed last summer, multiple stores such as Wireless Toy Box, Nirvana, and Art Spa followed suit shortly after. According to a financial report released last week from Bloomberg, people familiar with the plans say Washington Prime Group, the owner of hundreds of malls throughout the U.S., is preparing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. as time runs out before the company defaults after it skipped a $23 million interest payment on its debt. Only time will tell what exactly happens. In my walkthrough of the mall today, it seemed as if every other store was vacant. I actually reached out to Washington Pine, who weren't able to return my call. I also reached out to the manager of the Muncie Mall, but they denied NewsLink Indiana's request for comment. Of course, this is a developing story. Stay with us on air and online as we keep you updated. So live in the newsroom, Alex Almanza, NewsLink Indiana.
And thank you, Alex. And we have another local story tonight, right, Emily?
That's right, we do. The Plank Brothers Bicycle Company Urban Farm and Recycling Center opened up last year at the height of the pandemic, but it's just now getting started with the development of its urban farm for the Muncie community.
We would love to see gardens and farms and not lawns, ultimately. And so the idea with the Plank Brothers is it's a test ground and a laboratory where we can build these things and bring them to scale to the world.
The meaning behind an urban farm is growing or producing food in a heavily populated city or town. That's what the Plank Brothers plan to do with the piece of land and abandoned factory. They hope to one day even become a whole permaculture center. Martin even says the benefits of having this right here in Muncie is access to local, fresher, and healthier food, but also the community aspect.
For the community is to put that hope in there that there are things that are being done, there are people that care, and there are projects you can get involved in today to start making a difference.
And for more information on those projects and how you can be a part of them and upcoming events, you can also go to the Plank Brothers Bike Company Facebook page. And, sounds like they're going to hopefully get it in perfect timing for spring and, time to plant in that garden.
The spring is 4 days away, and I'm looking forward to better weather. Will the weather be reflecting the springtime, Hope?
Yeah, so currently the temperatures are a little bit on the cooler side, not as cool as yesterday. 45 degrees right now in Muncie, 45 in Indianapolis, 43 up in Lafayette. Taking a look at the radar, it was cloudy for most of the day, and clouds do stay in the area. But off to our west, there's another system starting to brew, and what we're tracking is fog tomorrow morning, and again that rain chance for Thursday, and then sunny weekend ahead.
All right, thank you, Hope. A Senate Minority Leader threatening Democrats over the fate of the filibuster rule. How legislators are responding.
And President Biden starts his new tour. What he's hoping to accomplish, coming up after the break.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Developing tonight in your national headlines, President Joe Biden says New York Governor Andrew Cuomo should resign if investigation confirms sexual assault harassment allegations against him. The president making the comments in an interview with ABC News. The Associated Press says that Biden told ABC anchor George Stephanopoulos the allegations need to be taken seriously. Cuomo has repeatedly said he won't resign. The governor is accused of harassing multiple women, including several staffers. He also faces allegations of groping a woman.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is preparing for a recall election. Organizers are facing a deadline tomorrow to submit 1.5 million petition signatures to qualify their proposal for the ballot. Supporters say they have over 2 million, but hundreds of thousands have not yet been verified. Newsom has lost popularity after school and business closures during the pandemic. If the proposal qualifies, it could take until September to set an election date.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell issued a threat today to Democrats over the fate of the filibuster rule. The filibuster allows senators to extend debate indefinitely, which gives the minority party the ability to block legislation from coming to a vote. It has been used by both parties in the past, and getting rid of it would be unprecedented. McConnell warned that eliminating the rule would hurt Democrats in the long run.
As soon as Republicans wound up back in the saddle, we wouldn't just erase every liberal change that hurt the country. We'd strengthen America with all kinds of conservative policies with zero input from the other side.
McConnell said changing filibuster rules would not speed up passage of bills for Biden administration priorities, suggesting that Republicans would use every tool available to stall business in the Senate. However, Senate Democrats have expressed frustration over what they believe is an abuse of the filibuster to block legislation. Today, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer called McConnell's comments a diversion from the success of the American Rescue Plan.
Senator McConnell is always looking for a diversion. He knows how popular ARP is. He knows he and his whole caucus opposed it, and that the American people, even Republicans, we just surveyed in New York State, 55% of Republicans are for the ARP now that it's passed.
Schumer said he hopes that in the future, both parties will be able to work together to produce change.
The surge in migrant crossings in recent weeks has opened up a political debate. The White House is looking to shelter and house children, even considering the convention center in Dallas to accommodate boys. But Republicans are blaming the president for the increase in numbers. Camilla Bernal has a reaction from both sides.
The numbers are surging and children are coming alone. That is undisputed. But what to do about it becomes political.
We're doing everything we can to make sure we have facilities that are appropriate for children so that they can be processed quickly and moved to sponsors, families, foster homes.
While the Biden administration looks for shelter space,
there are children in awful conditions right now.
Republicans worried about what could happen in the middle of a pandemic.
They have a screening questionnaire for medical and temperature checks, but other than that, they're not testing for COVID-19.
They're also concerned about the message.
You send the message that the border is not open to anybody to cross. We shouldn't be encouraging minors to come across unaccompanied.
But the White House says the message is clear.
Making sure that we convey the message that the border is not open, that the majority of people will be returned, and that it is not ever a good idea to come in this irregular fashion. But the smuggler's message is very pervasive.
Some lawmakers say they're willing to work in a bipartisan way to address this, but advocates say something needs to be done quickly.
I do think the administration needs to clearly set up a process for dealing with families.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
And following up on a story that we first brought to you last night, Biden and his team kicking off their Help Is Here tour today in Pennsylvania. The goal of the trip is to promote the American Rescue Plan COVID relief bill that was passed last week. Vice President Harris also on the road. She was in Denver today to talk with small businesses about the support they need. The Biden administration is also promoting possible tax increases, which he says are necessary to rebuild. And speaking of increasing, it looks like those temperatures are going to be doing that soon. Am I right, Hope?
Yes, and they are going to be increasing, but taking a look at the radar right now, patchy clouds, but there's another rain chance on the way. That and more coming up on my full forecast after the break.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
And banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an
to
effort.
get to know each other,
On a deeper level. Father.
cosplayer,
Mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. Taking a look now at the radar. It's clear across across Indiana, but looking over to the west, we can see this next system starting to build, and through tomorrow night into Thursday, it will push its way into our area. And timing that out on the precision cast, we can see that by Wednesday at 11 p.m., it starts to move in, and then by 7 a.m. on Thursday, we could have some heavier pockets of rain in Indiana, and then going through the day, it will linger into our area, but by 9 o'clock, we could see with temperatures starting to drop that it will change into snow and some freezing drizzle. And as we look at the forecasted rain, around 1 inch here in Muncie, a little bit less in Winchester, and a little bit more, over an inch predicted in Indianapolis. And taking a look now at the current temperatures, 45 here in Muncie, 45 in Indianapolis, 49 in Shelbyville, and although it does feel a little bit cooler, it's much warmer than it was yesterday. 10 degrees warmer here in Muncie, 11 degrees warmer in Indianapolis, 13 degrees warmer in Shelbyville. And going across into the evening hours, across the next 6 hours, temperatures do remain in the mid to lower 40s, and by 3 a.m. we're dropping down below 40, and going into tonight, our low is 37 degrees. Those clouds stick around with mostly cloudy skies. Winds on the calmer side coming from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And this morning we did experience some fog, and that will continue into tonight and into tomorrow morning. By 1 a.m. we're at 1.3 mile visibility, a little bit less in Anderson, below a mile of visibility, and heading into 2 a.m. those visibilities really do drop down. And going into the morning commute, we can see 1.2 mile visibility here in Muncie and 0 mile visibility in Anderson. But then by the lunchtime hour, the fog has moved out of our area. And tomorrow is the perfect day to go out for to play some golf. 8 a.m., 36 degrees, and that fog is hanging around, but by 5 p.m., 63 degrees for the high, mostly sunny skies, and those winds coming out of the southeast on the calmer side at 5 to 10 miles an hour. And looking at the next 6 to 10 days, we have a high probability of above average temperatures here in Indiana, and we can really start to see that in our mid 7-day forecast. And going into this weekend, clouds really start to clear up with sunny skies. First day of spring is on Saturday with a high of 53 and 60s once again coming into next week. Another rain chance on Tuesday with a high of 64 degrees.
Yeah, well, you know, it's very exciting that spring is so close, just coming up this weekend,
Yes.
that I think I'm more excited about St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. I mean, I wore green for a reason today, guys. Like, come on.
Well, it's perfect weather to go outside, play some golf. I wish I could be out there on the golf course tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll hope. Thank you. And now we're going to take it to Anthony for a look at sports.
The Ball State women's golf team already setting some records this week.
What records were broken, and NFL quarterback Drew Brees retiring, his connection to Ball State.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Weeknights, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal weather. We've got the latest news headlines.
Freezing temperatures have set in all the way down in Louisiana.
One man dead after flooding in Venice, Italy.
Up-to-the-minute weather conditions.
Cold temperatures are the story this morning.
And of course, lots of fun.
It is not
What
funny.
on earth is happening there?
I feel sorry for the little guy.
I've got my socks on. Annie with her curly hair, which is actually never curly. Join us Friday mornings at 8 on Facebook Live.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Anthony Sports. If you're a football fan, you probably know that Drew Brees decided to call it a career. But what you may not know is he has a pretty significant connection right here in Muncie. NewsLink Indiana's Blake Dollier made that connection for us.
The Saints, his teammates, alma mater, and others sending well wishes to Brees, who had a special retirement announcement.
Spend more time with us. Yay!
And you may wonder just how the NFL's all-time leading passer has a connection to Muncie. Well, look no further than a Hail Mary pass to Schumann Stadium.
It was an honor just to be able to see him go to work each and every day and how he approached every day. It was really and truly like a championship every day that he stepped on the field.
Mike New spent the 2009 season winning the Super Bowl as a scout for New Orleans, and in 2014 became Brees' quarterback coach. But the time with their kids was what meant the most.
He would go back on the Superdome turf with all his kids and with the kids of the players, and my youngest son Chase, and he'd play catch with them up and down the field for 2 hours after the game was over. And it was just, that was everything to him.
For a veteran like Brees, having run the offense nearly a decade, New didn't introduce too many new schemes.
I approached my relationship with him as a partnership. There was nothing I was going to be able to tell him in terms of on the field.
A perfect partnership, helping New bring his talents to Ball State.
He was so meticulous and detailed already. All these young men that are in college, they all have goals and dreams and aspirations to play at the next level. And just sharing really the daily experiences, what it looks like behind closed doors.
And impacting communities beyond football.
Thank you for the joy that you brought to so many people from watching you really embrace New Orleans at a time when it was down and out from Hurricane Katrina. And really at the same time, he helped rebuild that city.
A job well done. In Muncie, Blake Dollier, NewsLink, Indiana.
NewsLink Indiana did reach out to the Saints and Brees' agent, but did not hear back yet. Swinging over women's golf setting a new program record. Ball State was breaking records left and right in Dade City, Florida between Monday and Tuesday. They competed in the spring break shootout, posting a new tournament low with a score of 882. Yesterday, the first day of the tournament, they started it off beating their 18-hole record with a score of 286. The best scores of the day came from both in the second round. Morgan Lewis and Kaya Parrott shooting 69s. They were the only two scorers under par for the match. Ball State finished 6th among the 15 teams competing. And the one and only Sister Jean will be making her return to the March Madness atmosphere. Sister Jean will be here in Indiana supporting her Ramblers, who she has been the chaplain for the past 27 years. The last time Loyola Chicago had Sister Jean at their side, they made a remarkable run to the Final Four. Now that they are back in action, Loyola wants to make Sister Jean proud and make another run sitting as an 8 seed this year.
So March Madness is back. Who do we have winning in our brackets? Because I don't have one.
I don't know, but the Big Ten looks really strong this year.
See, I have Baylor. I have Baylor as the winner. I think I put like the tiebreaker score of like 64-60, something like that. So
Fairly
we'll
close.
see how it goes.
Well, just to run against you, I'm going to say Illinois is going to take it all.
All right.
What about you?
I'll take Michigan.
Take Michigan.
All right.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thank you, Anthony.
And we'll be taking a look after the break to see what's trending.
Plus, we'll take one final look at the weather. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Time for us to take a look at what's trending.
Joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Kara Porzuchek. Kara, what do you have for us?
Hey, do you guys watch The Umbrella Academy on Netflix?
A little bit.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite shows right now, and one of the main characters is played by Elliot Page, and Elliot Page has made some history. Page is the first transgender man to appear on the cover of Time. The actor announced in December he is transgender and identifies as non-binary. He also sat down with the magazine for his first interview since that announcement. The Juno star said that the pandemic gave him time to accept his gender identity and to fully become who he is. Demi Lovato is getting ready to release her next album. Monday, the singer shared on Instagram that her new album, Dancing with the Devil, the artist starting over, will be released in a few weeks. It will be Lovato's first album since Tell Me You Love Me was released in 2017. The album will be a companion piece to her 4-part YouTube documentary series that will air later this month. Dancing with the Devil, the artist starting over, will then be released on April 2nd.
Now, I was a huge Demi Lovato fan when I was younger, so I'm actually really excited to see what this new album is going to be. But we're going to take it to Hope for one final look at weather.
Yeah, well, this weekend is going to be the perfect weekend. The first day of spring is Saturday, a high of 53 degrees. And then going into next week, 60s return, but then another chance of rain on Tuesday.
All right, well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.